On the night of December 18th, 2021, thousands of people packed into Exposition Park in Los Angeles for one of the biggest rap festivals of the year. 50 Cent, Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg, the city's legends, all on one stage. Backstage, far from the lights, a rapper from South Central was waiting his turn to perform. 40 minutes later, he was on a hospital gurney, stabbed in the neck, seen bleeding out while a crowd danced to the beat. His name was Drakeo the Ruler. And for nearly 5 years, the question of who killed him has haunted Los Angeles. Tonight, there's new evidence, new testimony, and a name that refuses to go away. They call him YG. And the man who says he watched the attack unfold under oath has finally spoken. But here's the part that should make you stop. That witness was Draco's own security guard, and the rapper he's pointing at has denied everything. So what really happened that night? And why is this cold case suddenly burning again? Let's go back to the beginning. To understand the night, you have to understand the man. Daryl Wayne Caldwell Jr. grew up in South Central Los Angeles. Not the glamorized version of the city you see on television. The real thing. In a scene obsessed with image, Drakeo did something unusual. He refused to perform for the cameras. He rapped about his actual life, the arrest, the danger, the streets, in a slurred, hypnotic cadence that nobody could copy. Critics called him the most original West Coast stylist in decades. Rivals called him a threat. He built a devoted following without the industry's help. Independent, uncompromising, a cult figure in a mainstream world. But there was a problem, a shadow that followed him everywhere he went. By 2021, Drakeo was tangled in a bitter public rivalry with a much bigger star from the same city, a chart-topping artist named YG Kenan Jackson. The tension between them wasn't a secret. It had been building since around 2019. Shots traded in music, in interviews, in the unspoken codes of the streets. And here's where fate got cruel. On December 18th, 2021, both men were booked to perform at the same festival, same venue, same night. YG was even one of the headliners. Nobody knew as the sun went down over Exposition Park that the rivalry was about to turn fatal. It was called the Once Upon a Time in LA Festival, one of those massive, star-studded events where the city's biggest names share a single bill. Drakeo hadn't performed yet. The festival was running behind schedule, and he was still backstage near the main stage when the atmosphere shifted. Witnesses described chaos, a surge of bodies, shouting, and then the glint of blades.
Are you guys looking for...
At around 8:30 p.m., the brawl broke out. Drakeo was stabbed in the neck, a single wound, catastrophic. He was rushed to the hospital, but it was too late. On December 19th, just hours after the attack, Drakeo the Ruler was pronounced dead. He was 28 years old. The rapper who refused to be boxed in was gone. And almost immediately, the questions began. Who organized the attack? Who was behind it? And most of all, where did YG fit into the picture? For years, the answer stayed locked away. Detectives worked the case, but arrests never came. No one was charged and no one was named. In the court of public opinion, however, one name kept surfacing over and over, YG. The rumors weren't new. They've been circling since the night itself, but rumors aren't evidence. And YG, publicly at least, always had the same answer. He denied it, flatly, repeatedly. He said he only learned that someone had been stabbed after he arrived to perform. He said he had nothing to do with it, and for years, that's where it sat, a rumor with a rebuttal and no resolution. The case went quiet. Drakeo's family grieved. The city moved on. But then something happened that changed the entire shape of the investigation. A deposition was taken under oath behind closed doors, and the man giving it wasn't a stranger to that night. He was Drakeo's own security guard, the man whose job was to protect him. What he said in that room would sit buried for more than a year. And when it finally surfaced, it detonated. His name is Alrick Cooper III, and in his sworn testimony, he made a stunning claim. He said YG was front and center during the brawl, not watching from the sidelines, in the middle of it. Cooper testified that YG was one of 3 men he saw carrying what appeared to be short, improvised knives. He said YG was wearing a ski mask, but, and this is the detail that lingers, Cooper recognized him anyway. Not from his face, from his eyes. Hazel eyes, the kind you don't forget. Cooper said he watched YG produce a knife and slash it toward him as he tried to shield Drakeo from the attack. Think about the weight of that. This isn't an anonymous tip. This isn't gossip. This is a man who was physically there, whose job was to stop exactly this, swearing under penalty of perjury that he saw the accused in the middle of the violence, blade in hand. The deposition was taken on March 19th, 2025, and for more than a year, it sat inside a filing, part of a civil wrongful death lawsuit filed by Drakeo's family against the festival's organizers and security contractors. Then, in the summer of 2026, it leaked into public view. And the timing wasn't coincidence, because in the very same week that testimony surfaced, law enforcement made a move. California Highway Patrol officers, assisted by the Burbank Police Department's SWAT team, descended on a property in Burbank connected to YG. They served a search warrant in connection with the homicide investigation, and they detained YG, not arrested him, detained him, in the middle of a law enforcement operation tied directly to Drakeo's murder. This was the first time in the nearly 5-year investigation that police action had touched YG directly, and the rap world felt it. Headlines exploded. The cold case was suddenly the hottest story in hip-hop. But here's the part that keeps this an investigation, not a verdict. YG was released. He was not arrested. No charges were filed, and he has never been named a suspect. When asked whether YG was a suspect or a person of interest, the CHP said the agency couldn't comment. The investigation is ongoing and open. Translation, they're not telling us what they know. In June 2026, about a month before the search, YG released a song. Its title was a direct answer to years of whispers. We know the truth. In it, he rejected the allegations linking him to Drakeo's death. He said he learned someone had been stabbed only after arriving at the festival to perform. It's the same story he's told from the beginning. But now, with a sworn deposition on the record and a search warrant in the rear view, the stakes are different, because here's the uncomfortable truth of this case. We have a sworn witness placing a masked man with a knife at the center of the attack and identifying that man by his eyes as YG. We have a 5-year investigation that has finally taken direct action against YG, and we have YG's repeated categorical denial, plus a legal system that has so far declined to charge him. All of those things are true at the same time. So what actually happened to Drakeo the Ruler? Here's what we know beyond dispute. He was ambushed backstage at a festival, stabbed in the neck. He died. And to this day, no one has been arrested. Here's what the new evidence alleges. A security guard's sworn testimony places YG at the center of the violence, brandishing a knife. And here's what we don't know. Whether that testimony holds up under scrutiny, whether the investigation turns detention into charges, whether the man with the hazel eyes is guilty, or the target of a story that fits a little too neatly, because this is where the truth gets uncomfortable. A deposition is not a conviction. A search warrant is not an arrest. And an accusation, no matter how detailed, no matter how dramatic, is still an accusation. Alrick Cooper's account is powerful. It's specific, it's sworn. But it is one man's word, weighed against the word of a celebrity who has denied involvement for 5 years. That's why this case is so maddening, so riveting, so unresolved. The CHP is still investigating, the civil lawsuit is still moving, and the question of who sent those men into that backstage area of where YG really was when the blaze came out is still wide open. The night Drakeo the Ruler died, a crowd danced while a man bled out feet away. And 5 years later, Los Angeles is still waiting for the rest of the story. Here's what I want you to take from this. This isn't a story with an ending yet. It's a story with a sworn witness, a search warrant, and a man who says he's innocent. And all three of those things are fighting over the truth. The moment the next development breaks, a charge, a statement, a new leak, you're going to want to know about it first. So here's what I need from you. Hit subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and join the Hip Hop History Vault. Because when this story moves, you'll hear it here before anyone else. The case of Drakeo the Ruler isn't closed. It's just getting louder. Until next time, the streets always remember, and so do we.